To give you a brief overview of who I am, I run shonadle.com. I've been running my own business for almost 8 years now. I specialize in helping small businesses and residential with their computer systems, and most of the time the way I get called into a company is when their computers don't work. My passion is actually educating people on how they can be more efficient and how they can use their systems more effectively. Today, I'm going to actually talk about Google. Soon I'll be doing a class and giving a full hour on this, and so this is just a short synopsis of it. Most people, when they go to Google, they simply just type in what they're looking for and press enter. And they just take what shows up and they never question it. This is actually going to hopefully help you not just find results faster and give you better results, it'll also be a little bit safer. Now, I don't know if you can actually read what I wrote, but I put in Adobe Reader. That's something common that people will search on. And Adobe Reader is a good example because that's some free software, and most of the time everyone needs it to be able to run PDFs. You type in what you're searching for, and it gives you the results down here. Now I just want to do a real quick overview. The first thing that you see is usually the title of the page that it's going to take you to. The second item in green is going to be the URL address itself. That's actually important, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. Underneath, you'll get a little snapshot, a little bit of a history, and hopefully tell you why it found this to begin with. And then you have a little bit more information right under that with additional links. At the top, you've got some other items, including search tools, and it even tells you the result list. Now, the first thing I want to point out is because I'm searching for Adobe Reader, and because I work on people's computers, most of the time people call me because they've got viruses. And lately, this is the #1 way that people have been getting some junk on their computer. This is an exact example of what I'm saying. You type in Adobe Reader, and you should be getting adobe.com at the top, but actually these ads pop up first, and you know they're ads because they have a little item that says ad on there. You can read the URL. Remember when I said the URL address? This is how you'll be able to spot and see if you want to go to these websites or not. In this case, the first ad says www.downloadease.net. Don't go to this particular website. What will happen is when you install Adobe Reader from it, you're going to actually get a bunch of extra junk on there, and it's going to slow down your system. The second ad is actually adobe.com. That's okay because Adobe makes Reader. So, of course, you'll want to go to that site. The third one is also adobe.com. It's not an ad, but Google's going to display them according to how they're relevant. Do I have any questions? Is everyone okay with that? Good. The next thing I wanted to show is this item up here called Search Tools. Anyone ever actually used and clicked on the Search Tools? Only about a couple people. Okay, when you click on Search Tools, what you wind up getting is a few other items. Now, some people don't realize this, but Google will take into account your location when you do a search, and if you can see this, you may not be able to. It shows I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. What if you actually want to do a search somewhere else? Say you want to actually check out hotels out of town, like you're going to visit your in-laws, and instead of staying at their house, you're like, you know what, we're going to go look for a hotel nearby, so I'm just going to type in something else there. It does take zip codes, so you can use any other location. You can make it broad and just say any location. It depends on what you're searching for, but that's what you get. The other thing you have is any time. I think that is especially useful if you're trying to find news articles. The options you have is past hour, past 24 hours, past week, past month, past year. How is this helpful? Well, when something has happened in the news, like the airplane crash that happened yesterday, you could type in airplane crash, and you might want to actually look for something that showed up recently. So search tools, I just want the past hour, and that should give you the most recent information. It still sorts it by relevance, which is helpful because you don't want just like the Wikipedia update or something like that. So next we can talk about is, have you ever gone to a website and you clicked on a link and, oh, the link is pulled? The link is pulled? Well, what does that mean? You go to the link's no longer there. Sometimes when you're doing research, this is frustrating. Sometimes what happens is they posted an article and they've updated it since then and they've pulled the one that's not relevant, but you want to read the relevant news anyways. You want to read that particular one. A lot of people don't know this, but what you can do is when you go and find one that for some reason the link isn't working, there's a little arrow button next to the URL. You can't see it, I'm sure, from your screen, but when you click on it, it gives you something called cached. This is really neat. What Google is doing is it's saving a cache view of that page. So you can still go in and read what was on there since Google had last scanned it. They do give you a little header up here to let you know that what you're seeing isn't actually live. This was in the results that they scanned before. This can be extremely helpful when for some reason a website has gone down, but you still need the information. And let's see, I think that's the majority of, one final thing that I want to show. When I do my class, I'm going to be giving a lot of helpful hints about what you can type in your search results to give you more information. But how many of you have ever gone to a website where they have their own search feature and you type in it, but the results they give you is not very helpful? I'm going to use the website lifehacker.com. I like that website. They give a lot of, it's mainly got a emphasis on technology, but it does a lot of things from there. They have a search item right up here, and when I put in search results there, say I want to find antivirus reviews. If you notice, iPad Clearinghouse wireless mouse, it's not very helpful. It's not giving me, I asked for antivirus reviews and it's giving me this information, but I know they have reviews on their site. So you can actually go back to Google and use Google to search only that website. And in order to do it, you would type in what you need to look for. So in this case, antivirus reviews. Then you type in site, that's S-I-T-E, like a website. And then the next thing you put in is the colon, I believe is what it's called, the two dots. And then you type in the address. So in this case, it's lifehacker.com. So I'm going to type in lifehacker.com and press enter. Now, once you get past the ads, all of the websites that it's found is lifehacker.com. And the best antivirus app for Mac, this is actually much more helpful in giving me more relevant information than I did on their main site. This is extremely useful technique. I have a whole bunch of other types of terms that I can teach people to be able to use in Google to give them more specific results that they're searching for. You can do this for any website, CNN.com, Amazon.com. There's other ways to also search Amazon and YouTube and those places. It doesn't work if it's a website where you have to log in, say, if you actually, it's restricted to just the common viewer and you have to log in to see the information. It won't let you bypass that, so the commercial appeal probably wouldn't work because they do request the login. But for most general sites that allow their information out there freely, you can use this. Any other questions?
If I have clicked on one of the top search results that has an ad on there, and you said all that stuff goes on your computer to make it slower, is the only way to clear that from my computer to clear the history, or does it actually go into the computer and sticks to that?
Usually the website itself probably isn't a bad site, so if you do click on an ad, it's probably okay. Google is supposed to scan these websites and check for malware that's actually in the page itself. What I worry about is if you download a file from there, if you download their link from that website, say you go in and you say download and install, then it puts all the information. At that point, no, clearing the cache is not going to help. You're going to have to, sometimes you get lucky and you can uninstall the software, but there's going to be probably like a dozen. There's a lot. It can get really nasty. I recommend a program called Malware Bytes, that's BYTES, and that does a good job of cleaning this stuff up after the fact. Any other questions? Okay, I'm Shannon Honadle with Honadle.com. Thank you.